A recent report in the trade press criticised the Merchant Risk Council recommendation that its members use extended validation certificates, also known as EV certificates for short. Why is EV necessary, they asked. Won't the padlock green bar just confuse users? What's the value and how is this going to stop phishing? Hello, I'm Hallam-Baker, Principal Scientist of VeriSign, and I'd like to take some minutes to answer those questions. First, let's lay the issue of phishing to rest. EV will not stop phishing because EV is not meant to stop phishing. It'd be nice if it would, but it certainly won't stop phishing on its own. EV can help reduce certain costs incurred as a result of phishing, lost trade for example. And EV can help block specific modes of phishing attack, but not all. So, extended validation can play a role as part of a comprehensive plan to stop internet crime, but nobody is saying that EV by itself is a solution for internet crime. EV is designed to address two features that are commonly exploited in virtually every internet crime. The first of these is inadequate authentication. Nobody really knows who people are on the internet. And the other is weak accountability. Nobody is held responsible for their actions on the internet. Extended validation is designed to help fix those problems. When work began on extended validation in 2005, it was 10 years after VeriSign had issued the very first SSL e-commerce certificate. SSL was designed in 1995 to provide sufficient security for online retail. The internet's a very different place today. It's changed, and so have the security needs. Today, online banking and stockbroking are routine. They just didn't exist in 1995, and there weren't really many plans for them. The most frequent criticism then of extended validation is, I don't need it just to turn on encryption. And in many cases this is completely true. If you have a blog or a bulletin board or a webmail application and all your intended users already know you and your domain name, then domain name only validation is likely to be perfectly adequate. And certainly domain name only validation is easier and cheaper to provide. If, however, you are attempting to establish a new relationship with a customer who does not know you, you need to do more. You need to convince that potential customer to trust you. And if you want the browser providers to help you convince that potential customer to trust you, you're going to have to demonstrate that you are accountable. So what is accountability? Well, in the extended validation world, accountability means consequences in the case of a default. So, an extended validation certificate does not guarantee that you will like the plasma TV you bought from an online merchant. It does not guarantee it will work. It doesn't even guarantee it will be delivered. But it does, however, guarantee that the merchant has demonstrated a bona fide place of business, an address where process can be served, and thus the merchant will suffer consequences, civil, legal, criminal, in case of a default. That's accountability. Getting an EV certificate requires a greater investment in time and money on the part of the applicant. Extended validation certificates are not instant issue and they're not about instant gratification. But they say a lot more about your business than that you have bought a $10 domain name. In return, the browser providers reward extended validation websites with a more effective, more noticeable security user interface. In Internet Explorer, the browser address bar turns green. The certificate subject is displayed to the right of the web address, and after a few sections, the subject name switches to the issuer name. Issuers must also be accountable. Accountability is what extended validation is all about. Some have criticised extended validation issuing requirements as being too much. Others have said that they should be stricter. Perhaps these people wanting stricter requirements are right, but if they are, every certificate issuer knows that their brand is on the line every time they issue a certificate, and the CA Browser Forum issue criteria for extended validation certificates are minimum standards. Issuers can choose to be stricter, and I believe that they will if they have to protect their brand. Equally importantly, secure authentication processes are not the last line of defence. They're the first line of defence, but they're not the line. If an EV certificate is found to be defective, it must be revoked, and the online status protocol technology used by VeriSign allows a defective certificate to be revoked in minutes. The net result of these changes to the user experience is that potential customers have greater confidence in electronic commerce, and that confidence is justified. Now, I've been using the web for 15 years and I'm somewhat committed to the development of the web, and I believe that merchant banks, anybody using the web for a security sensitive application, should use extended validation for the common good. I also understand that, as Marlon Brando said in The Godfather, none of us are communists. Most people are going to want to have a more tangible reward for deploying extended validation. Fortunately, increased consumer confidence translates into increased revenues. Overstock.com, the first website to deploy extended validation certificates, reported an 8.6% decrease in abandoned shopping carts. How much would you pay for an 8.6% decrease in uncompleted sales? Extended validation is certainly not going to end internet crime, but it does offer a rapid return on a comparatively modest investment and contribute to the common good at the same time. It's not the end of internet crime, but it is a step towards ending internet crime. Thank you for your time. If you'd like to find out more about the plan to stop internet crime, please read the Crime Manifesto, available from good booksellers, from December 28th.